So, moving on. It's the Assassin. Increased health gained per level. Oh, thank God. Um, anyway, brief summary. Everything of the Amazon is quite amazing. Actually, I didn't uh, touch the Stormzon. More weapon damage for Thundercrack. Nah, it's flat lightning damage until higher levels, and less damage to lightning. Okay, so it's more physical. More mana per cast a Storm Call. Hammer Zere does more weapon damage. Flying Scepters rotate rapidly. And Asterism no longer gives melee dodge. Maximum damage per base level. Base bonus increase. Okay, cool. And more magnetic field damage. Nothing about this I can say is bad. It's making the Amazon stronger, so... Might make her a little bit unbalanced, though. I'm not sure. Anyway, Assassin's increased health gain per level. Thank God. Because the Assassin was really spongy. And let's see. Bloodbath. That's the innate skill. I never showed that off with the throwing Assassin, but it was a dual claw attack that healed, like when it was active, it would heal, I think, 5% of maximum life per kill or something. Limited to Claw and Naginata only. Rework a Bat Strike. Every stage is now cast individually. Okay. I'm not sure what that means. Unless it's like Phoenix Strike still. So Twin Fang Strike's now Claw only. That requires level 12. Base cost mana reduce. Shadow Dancer, base critical strike. Bonus physical damage per level have been increased for Shadow Dancer. I don't think I ever used that, did I? I know I didn't in the throwing Assassin. Noctowl no longer requires dual wield. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to look through these. Maelstrom. Damage increased. Bonus magic damage has been greatly increased. Okay, so this just looks like a bunch of... So basically, this just looked like a bunch of added damage and reworking. Nothing really to comment here. Let's see. Weapon damage doubled for Hades Gate. Now requires Naginata. Fixed range and mana cost increases with skill level. Okay. I'm noticing all the ways here. Poison damage to weapon increased. Spell damage increased. Double... Okay. Double initial damage bonus. Cool. Cool. What about Way of the Griffin? Lightning spell damage, double initial damage bonus. That's cool. Shuriken Flurry, that was a shit skill anyway. Psionic Scream is level 12, fixed range. Okay, so basically this is just reworking a bunch of stuff. Obliteration is now the Black Road challenge skill. Damage greatly increased. That was one that would destroy a corpse and cause like a weird riff or something. Not the best skill, but not bad for level 1. Okay, let's see. Delatus. Reduce the attack rating bonus. No longer increases Blood Hatred duration. Because Blood Hatred would drain life, but it would drain a certain amount over a certain period. And Delatus would improve that period. Increase life bonus and lightning damage. Okay, that's not so bad. I dig that. I don't dig the reduced attack rating, but I do like the life bonus, though. Weapon damage greatly increased to Earthquake. Bonus damage increased. Hitbox increased. That was already pretty OP as a level 1 skill. Though. Stormblast is now level 12. Oh, and now it requires a sword. Instead of just a melee weapon. Add it. Oh. And now it adds bonus attack rating, too. Okay, now we're getting into some considerably changed stuff here. Iron Spiral, A Sword, we all know that. But I guess it doesn't require 2 swords anymore. Greatly increased damage, now converts lightning instead of fire. Oh, and that also adds bonus attack rating. Okay. So I'm guessing the point of this is to not have a bunch of points in dexterity for the barbarian. Blood Hatred. Blood Hatred no longer is required dual wield. That is, okay, this is definitely news. Elemental Pierce gained per level. Wait, Blood Hatred didn't have Elemental Pierce before, did it? Duration now scales with base level. So now it's actually worth putting hard points in, maybe. Death Gaze, I guess it's no longer dual wield. Weapon damage increase, cold damage increase. Okay, now it's 50% physical to cold instead of just 4/5 weapon damage with plus amount of cold damage. I dig it. It's good for some conversion. Ice Burst is level 12. Requires an axe. Reduced Pierce. Ranged is now fixed. Thunderslam is 18. Okay, now you can only use it with an axe. Bonus damage increase. Shower of Rocks is level 24. Okay, mana cost increases with skill, but it's easier to use. Okay. And all of this is... Let's see. Yeah, all that's greatly increased damage and reworked stuff. Not really much to comment on. Although Overkill, mana cost increases with skill level. Earlier, it decreased with skill level, so now it's increasing. That was always the worst part of building an Overkill barb in XVI, was having no fucking mana until later when you can actually use it consistently. I don't know how much mana it's going to cost, but Overkill might be really hard to use if it costs a shitload of mana. But if it like one hit kills everything, it might not be a big deal anyway. And let's see, Spirit Walk, Shamanic Trance. Oh, it replaces Greater Manifestations. Spirit Walk now costs mana to cast. I assume that it still has the spell timer thing. Okay, all of them have increased damage and greatly increased life. Oh, now you may summon all 3 spirits at once. So that's going to be definitely a change for barbarian summoners. Fortress's damage increased. Reduce the range gain from synergy. Okay, so it costs more mana per skill. Spirit Guide. Increase the Wolf Ancient Spirit radius. Thank God. Let's see. Reversed physical resistance penalty progression. Starts low and increases. Okay, so instead of going from 100 to 95 to 90, etc., it'll now be 20 to 25, 30, 35, etc. Okay, so it's going to be even riskier. And yeah, increased bonus damage. I'd hope so. And more Snake Stance damage and reduced slow target gain. I assume it's still capped at 50% though. Fair Stance, reduced physical damage and defense bonus. Bonus defense scaling with skill level increased. Eagle Stance now reduces attack rating instead of weapon damage. Health regen slightly reduced. If you have ignore target defense, obviously this doesn't matter, but still. And Wolf Stance gives more crushing blow. And let's see, reward tree. Gladiator dominance. New skill improves combat prowess and adds damage to all barbarian range skills. Okay, so that's obviously tailor-made for the throwing barb. And Nephilim Spirit. Untargetable spirit with an aura. Bonus damage increased. Replaces Nephilim weapons. I see. And for the druid. So now we die as soon as we are morphed. If we're morphed into something and we die, we die. We don't unmorph anymore. So I remember that being a thing. Thorn Strike, multi-hit, and can target ground, but replaces pummel. Wildfire's stronger. Idol of Skalags again. Glen has reduced cooldown. Let's see. Okay, Trap Rat no longer improves maximum life, and it increases the bonus defense scaling. More damage to Egg Trap and Thornwall. Werewolf, I never really used those, but there they are. And let's see. Freezing Gale is a lot stronger than it was. And Freezing Gale is already pretty strong. I did actually play around with this once. It can already kill just about everything not immune to cold. So, let's see. Stronger Acid Fiends. Poison Flash now gains bonus damage from strength and not energy, which would make me want to play that Tree Warden that I wanted to build even more now. Here's the bow bonuses. Just all weapon damage increased. Changed weapons. Changed elemental damage. Let's see. Good Berry. Now requires a potion in order to prevent people from accidentally converting rare items. Okay. And this is just more balancing, basically. Necro Totems. Let's see. Increased damage from Death Fury. Reduced damage for Fireclaw and Frostclaw and Fireheart. Elemental Totems. Or Howling Totems. Increased physical damage and Crushing Blow scaling. They no longer reanimate stuff for performance reasons. Embalming reduces mana regen bonus per skill level, which shouldn't be too big a deal in my opinion, because if you're a melee necro, you care about embalming for the life, not the mana regen. Plus it should still be fine for Parasite. And Sacrificial Sheep is now fixed. Cooldown is reduced, so maybe you can actually build a reanimator from level 1. A proper one. And let's see, Bend the Shadows. Mana is lower at level 1, but now increases. I don't think anyone ever invested more than 1 point anyway. Mana cost increases skill level for Bane. Talon's Hold greatly improved the life, damage, and AI of the reanimates. Increased the... Okay, so basically they're buffing this. Let's see. Max ramp. Okay, so life and damage increased of everything. Can now only have 9 Lamias, 6 Rampagors, Skeletal Flares. Is 9. It replaces Shadows. Do they still give the... One thing I wonder, do they still give the Demon's Blood aura? Because that was one of the really helpful things of the Shadows. Funeral Pyre is a level 1 skill. Oh, Pestilence, here we go. Increased area of effect, triple damage, now gains bonus from strength and dexterity, and cooldown removed. Thank fuck. Now maybe Pestilence won't suck. Like I personally thought it did in XVI. Faster cast rate bonus has been reduced. Updated the tooltip to Nightwalk. Basically, they're just fixing stuff. Here. Carnage replaces Massacre, which, holy shit, causes a chain of fiery shockwaves when you attack and hits multiple times. Oh, Parasite's now level 6. Now gains 1 extra target per base level. Mana cost increases. Well, that would... Okay, I might have to replay the melee Necro now. Angel of Death is level 18. Improved damage formula and targeting accuracy. Good. Voodoo Shot's now Widowmaker again. Frag Shot does more damage than it did before. Death shards. Okay, that does sound like buckshot. Graveyard gains an additional projectile every 8 base levels. Death ward. Oh god, greatly increases the amount of bonus defense. That was pretty strong as it was. Let's see. Retaliate. Okay. Divine Judgment for the Paladin Honor Tree. Powerful multi-hitting single target attack which converts damage. So that's going to be a new single target killer. Duration of Plague reduced. Reduced amount of bonus defense in Dragonheart. Physical damage per base level greatly increased, so that'll make them more worthwhile again. Base cooldown reduced in half. So, are we going to be able to just warp around if we invest points in Coliseum, or is it going to be lowered to 2.5 seconds? Because the lowest you can ever get Coliseum's cooldown is 5 seconds. Also, I'm just looking at the time here. So, let's see. VOR, rework damage and attack speed. I'm guessing it won't be as strong. And Solstice and Equinox, every 2 skill levels. Doesn't it do that anyway? I think it did. Okay, so just changes there. Solar Flare requires less mana. Duration increased to 6 seconds. I still don't like the idea of casting Solar Flare every time you want to do something. As a caster, I mean. And all of this is increased damage, basically. Let's see. And the Demon Tree looks like it's getting slightly weakened. Shadow Tree. I'm guessing Vessel of Justice now and Vessel of Retribution are going to be more equalized. Scourge, increased life damage and attack rating. Okay, now you can only summon 15 of them. Okay, Demiurge cooldown greatly reduced. So hopefully it'll only be like 10 seconds. Improve the life and AI of the Seraphim reanimates with more mana. So that will be... Like, that was one of the things I did with the Lazy Den build, is just have Demiurge activating. But now that it's reduced, that will make the skill more worthwhile, so I might have to rebuild that one. Tainted Blood. Less poison resistance, which is kind of but whatever. And healing rate. Mind Flay has greatly increased damage. SOD... Okay, so it's increased at higher levels. More reason I might want to retry the Lazy Den that I built. And Stormlord slightly reduced the base level synergy bonus, so it'd be slightly less reason to invest in that. Divine Apparition now costs a lot more mana. And Super Beast now actually requires more cast speed and attack speed for best frames per animation. Okay, so now it's nerfing the Super Beast. I never used Dragon Form, and greatly increased damage and health of the Revived Revenants. Now can only have 3. So let's see. Sorceress Trees. Okay. Okay, so Living Flame now gives more max life and life regen. I could talk about this more once I get to the melee sorceress, but Pyroglant, tweaked visuals, less damage, slightly less flame strike damage, increased weapon and spell damage boost to Fire Dance. Oh god, okay, so initial radius increase but no longer expands with skill level. That sucks. See. Less bolts per cast of Tempest. Reduced number of charged bolts, explosion. Damage increased to Fork Lightning and Nova Charge. Oh, now gains bonus from dexterity and energy. I think it was just dexterity before. Ice Queen has less maximum life. Abyss damage reduction. I found Abyss kind of hard to use. Better ice elementals. Now it can only have 15 at a time. Slightly increased bench power to Lornado. Miasma greatly reduced poison damage, but haunt effectiveness and duration improved. Greatly increased damage to Arachnomancy, which replaces Carpet of Spiders, I guess. I'm okay with all of these changes. Increased damage of Hive, duration gain per skill level reduced. Now gains bonus from dexterity and energy. Cool. Slightly reduced damage at level 1. Damage at higher levels greatly increased for immersion. And Mana Claw slightly increased, because that was one that did more damage the lower your mana pool got. So, increased damage to familiars. Now displays current energy damage bonus to its attacks on the tooltip. I'll have to check these out for myself. Increased damage Arcane Torrent. Mana synergy cap raised. Mana cost increased. Mana Sweep increased damage growth after level 1. Slightly reduced the amount of mana stored per hit. That was a spell that hit a target really hard if you had low mana and restored your mana instantly. Ooh, cooldown reduction of Anti-Mass. That converts your mana to health. That's really good. Let's see. Blade Storm does more damage. This is where I'm going to want to look. Weapon damage increase for Blade Storm. Magic damage increase. Now converts less damage to physical. Now costs less mana. So this is going to be, I guess, the main source of mana of physical conversion. Now I can only have 9 Blade Spirits. Reduced Fusillade damage. Oh, that's like a Fairy Ring. A lot more damage to Wraith Sword. Baneblade increased weapon physical damage gain, greatly increased life on attack, and large amount of FBR. Cool. Witchblood, that was useless anyway, but more spell damage bonus. Increase the debuff to enemy weapon damage with Force Blast. Good if you need it. Symbol of Esu increased initial restoration. Reduced restoration gain per skill level. Now only restores life. In Chrono Fields, increased velocity at slow levels. Now also reduces enemy physical resistance per base level. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. Okay, O skills. Okay, you can look at all this. ATMG Sentry. Decreased duration and increased mana cost. I did get a suggestion to do an ATMG Sin. This will make it a lot harder to use. And let's see. Repair cost of items decreased. Increased damage of tier 1 and 2 weapons. Good. Crystalline Flame Medallion. Moved 1 to all skills to Zaxxas's Reward. Steel Terror. Replace respawn or proc with Dark Summoning. Oh, so Dark Summoning still exists. And sets. Basically, tribute sets. Modified names do not contain real life references. And the rest of these are all modified stuff. Gem words are now removed. Chthon reduced level of tremor. I'm not going to talk about all of these. Nero reduced path of flames. Okay. Belladonna elixir can no longer be crafted. Can randomly drop from any monster. Okay, well I'll have to keep my eye on those then. Cabraxis stone now requires level 121. Okay. Book of Summoning now drops from the Summoner on Terror difficulty. Wait a minute, hold on then. So, I'll go back up to the... Oh. So, we are still getting summoning quests, but they're being reworked. I see now. Catalyst of Disenchantment drops from the Smith. Destruction is Hefetzo on Hatred, and Catalyst of Learning is from Iswal on Terror. Oh, so we can't get Signets of Learning until way later now. I'm alright with that, I guess. Okay, no more Pearls of Wisdom. They were outdated in XVI. Special Box is removed, which... as if we can get more shrines, that'd be fine. Emblems, renamed from secret tokens. Now a rare world drop. Okay. Mark of Infusion. New item to create honorifics. Dropped by Shank. Okay, so we can't make honorifics right off the bat anymore. And medium statue is useless. Just various elixirs that I don't really use. Book of Cain is now Book of Ultimative. Modified stats when cubing with Book of Median. Shrine Trophy can now be cubed. Okay, let's see. Ayu Runad's Deadly Strike. Okay, I'm just looking at things to comment on. Okay, Shrine Crafting. Shrines will now grant all of their bonuses, which is a good thing. I like that. Removed -% mana affixes on elemental crafts, which is good. Useless unique mystic orbs. Unique mystic orbs have been massively buffed. Many mystic orb stats have been reworked and or replaced. Removed recipe to cube 3 unique mystic orbs into a new one. I never used that one. All mystic orbs now have double bonuses, including level requirement to speed up orbing. That I don't mind. Regular mystic orbs can now be cubed up to 5 times. What does that mean? I mean, you can just... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I see. I see. You can only get 5 of those bonuses to one item, I'm guessing. I see. Okay, Oil of Renewal no longer rerolls rare items. I don't know if I like that. Chaos reroll is removed. I didn't really care about that personally. Book of Summoning can no longer be cubed with Book of Lies. Oil of Enhancement can no longer upgrade magic items to rare, and no longer requires a rune to upgrade to magic. I don't know if I like that. Actually, I know I don't. Because one of the reasons we liked using rare items is because with more modifiers, it's more likely to spawn the modifier we want. Also, obviously, more modifiers means more likely that they're going to be useful. Okay, and the boss dogmas now require only one of each dogma. Thank God. Wait, what the? Re-added recipes to create Haradric's Staff and Kalim's Will. What? So, does that mean we're going to have to, like, actually go through the maggot layer? And go through, all of the old, like, spider cavern and all that shit? Is that what that means? Let's see. Rare item plus rare ring plus rare amulet. Reroll rare item with eye level of 1. I don't know if I like... I don't think I like that, because like, you needed to have items with a certain item level to get certain modifiers. So I don't know if that'd be good. Black Road Challenge now... completion now requires 2 arcane crystals instead of 4 hearts. And Sacred Unique reroll no longer requires oils. I didn't know you could ever re-roll Sacred Uniques. Vendors and NPCs. Oh, good. They are actually going to reveal the map for free. Thank God. Rings and amulets can no longer be gambled. Catalysts are no longer sold by vendors. Increased sell cost of jewels. Reduced sell price for runes. Modified which vendors sell mystic orbs. Increased price to prevent early game orb abuse. And Oil of Absolution, Meditation Candle, and Sacrificial Hearts are removed. And consistent with Mystic Orbs. I guess that means they've been increased. Here's all of the O skills. Okay. So, there you go. You can pause the video to see all those. And here's new procs. There you go. I do like this bear claw on striking to arrow quivers and bolt ball quivers. See, many low quality rolls on stats will now stop spawning on items with level 90 or more. Thank God. All weapons and armor can now roll high durability bonus or rarely spawn as indestructible. Okay, that's good. All endgame items now adjusted to fit perfectly with Mystic Orb level increases. What does that mean? Low impact affixes, which are unwanted by most players, will now appear less frequently. For example, damage reflected, regen, gold find. Yeah, screw those ones. Power of most affixes increased. Orbs and wands may spawn with significantly more FCR than staves. Added new top level rolls for many affixes. These spawn infrequently. Non-class shields may now spawn with 2% chance to block. Reworked identity of elemental damage as follows. Great. Okay. So let's see. I'm almost at the end here, thankfully. So I've been talking about this for an hour. General shields may spawn with damage reduced by X, lightning spell damage. And Pierce will now spawn on Amazon class items. Improved minion damage, affixes for leveling and endgame. Reworked identity of elemental damage. Cold damage, lowest average damage, lowest variance. Lower is better. Slow enemies. Higher average damage, higher variance, no slow. Even higher average damage for lightning. Even higher variance, no slow. Don't really get those. I understand higher damage, of course, but... Oh, I see what variance is. Higher difference between high and low. I see. Poison damage, duration shortened, highest average damage by far in order to compensate for lack of multi-hits. And let's see, I'm at the end. Rare items drop more frequently. Non-unique mystic orbs no longer drop from monsters. Okay, so... Alright, well that's good. Less junk. Unique mystic orbs now only drop in destruction. Good. Shrines rebalance drop rates across the game. I hope that means they drop more frequently outside of Ubers, because finding shrines is hard outside of Duncraig. Or, I mean, Fosdenville. Heroic levels have reduced rare item drop chance. Columngrad also has reduced rare items drop chance. And I'm not going to talk about these. Oh, items on ground will no longer be equipped automatically. Good. Mercenaries. Stats of mercenaries been reworked. No more crafting points. Crystal. Okay. Venomous aura. Doubled effect stat now property works. Acid transfixed aura. Effect on items that had it. And multiplayer stuff. So that's it. Overall, looking at all of these, despite changes in the the way the game's gonna work, I do think it's gonna be mostly the same, and I think it's gonna be an excellent change to the way that median works. I'm really excited to actually try this, and I hope I can get it. Unfortunately, as I said, I'll probably have to get rid of my old characters, but that'll be fine, I guess. I mean, it's not like I farmed and farmed and farmed for all endgame items for everything anyway, so so yeah, those are my thoughts, and reading out everything of note in my opinion that's changed. I can put a link if people want it in the description to these two parts, and that thought dump took forever. So yeah, like I said, I'll still finish the Boazon, and once I'm done with that, I will attempt to get Median 2017, and if I do, you'll be seeing the Melee Sorceress after the Boazon. So yeah, I'll see you then.